My name is Gillian, and I have been a Christian my whole life. I grew up in a Christian home with parents that had faith. I feel very fortunate about that. So I've never in my life not known Jesus. Then fast forward to after high school, early 20s, I got married. My husband was not a person of faith. And so I thought, well, what's the harm in, what's the harm in that? Maybe eventually I can get him back into church. But that's not exactly how that went. And then about 2 years ago, the marriage ended very suddenly. Like one night we're together, the next night we're not, kind of thing. And so that kind of like rocked me a little bit, shook me to my core a little bit, because it's just one of those things I didn't picture happening, right? So you have your whole life planned out for you, yourself, and then in a day it's gone. At the time, I was coping the best way I knew how, right? Spending time with friends, going out, trying to make sense of what my life would look like now. And there was one night I was over at a friend's house. It was her birthday, and we were having cake at her table, and it was just her and I, and then her husband, and we were chatting, and we were like, what do you think my next husband's gonna look like? Or like, who do you think I'll date next? Just talking like that. And then she turns to her husband and goes, yeah, who do you think she would date next? What do you think that would look like? And he just looks at me. I remember this very vividly. He looks at me and he goes, I don't know, but she needs to get right with God first. And I remember in the moment being like, well, how dare you say that to me? Because I've always been a Christian. I've always known God. I know God. I'm right with God. And then I was driving home, still fuming. I was mad. And I was like, why is that making me so mad? Why is it making me so mad? And I was like, oh, because he's right. He's right. Like I've said I'm a Christian for 26 years, but have I really been walking the walk as much as I talk the talk? I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna give church a try. I'm gonna give church a try again. And I started coming to New Vintage, and I immediately loved it. Immediately felt plugged in, and immediately found people that I loved and connected with. Since then, I just have exploded with my faith. I'm plugged in here. I do kids ministry. I do youth group on Sunday nights, and I just love every second of it. I actually was baptized when I was 10 or 11 at my previous church, right? Because, that's what all your friends did, and you feel like that's the next step. But I don't think I knew exactly at that age what it meant or the gravity of it. It's not just my parents' faith that I have faith because my parents taught me how to have faith. I have faith because I want to have faith. And I feel like now more so than ever, I have a desire to live my life for Jesus and not just know him, but to live the life he wants me to live.